From self-doubt to self-assurance, Conquering Leadership Imposter Syndrome, Part 2. Welcome back. In Part 1, we explored what imposter syndrome looks like in leadership roles, why it's so common for new leaders, and the different types you might be experiencing. If you missed it, I encourage you to read it first, as it provides important context for the strategies we'll cover today. Now let's get to the good stuff. How to actually manage imposter syndrome so it doesn't derail your leadership effectiveness. Strategies for managing imposter syndrome. The goal isn't to eliminate all self-doubt. Again, some humility and awareness of your limitations is valuable for leaders. The goal is to prevent imposter syndrome from limiting your effectiveness. Strategy number 1. The stories we tell ourselves matter enormously. Small shifts in how you interpret your experience can make a huge difference in how you feel and perform. Instead of saying, I don't know what I'm doing, try, I'm learning and growing in this role. Instead of, they'll discover I'm not qualified, try, I'm developing the qualifications I need. And instead of, everyone else has it figured out, try, everyone is continuously learning and adapting. Strategy number 2, document your accomplishments. Keep a record of your successes, positive feedback, and evidence of your growing competence. Review this documentation when imposter feelings arise to remind yourself of your legitimate accomplishments. This isn't about ego stoking. It's about creating objective evidence to counter the subjective feelings of inadequacy that imposter syndrome creates. Strategy number 3. Normalize the learning process. Accept that feeling uncertain and needing to learn new things is normal, not evidence of inadequacy. Every successful leader was once a beginner in their role. The learning curve isn't a bug in your leadership journey. It's a feature. It means you're growing and taking on meaningful challenges. Strategy 4. Seek feedback actively. Instead of worrying about what others think, ask directly. Regular feedback from supervisors, peers, or team members provides objective information about your performance. Listen when you receive positive feedback. Don't make excuses for it and make it pity or just trying to make you feel better. Take it for what it is. Many people with imposter syndrome dismiss positive feedback as politeness or pity. Don't do this. If someone took the time to give you positive feedback, it's likely genuine. Strategy number 5, find mentors and role models. Connect with other leaders who can share their experiences and provide perspective on normal leadership challenges. Learning that respected leaders also experienced doubt and uncertainty can be incredibly reassuring. And strategy number 6, focus on service, not self. Redirect your attention from, am I good enough, to how can I best serve my team and organization? This shift in focus reduces self-consciousness and increases effectiveness. When you're focused on serving others, you're less focused on your insecurities. Building confidence through competence. The most sustainable way to address imposter syndrome is to systematically build the competencies you need for your leadership role. Identify your growth areas. Be honest about where you need to develop without interpreting these growth areas as evidence of inadequacy. Every leader has an area for improvement. Create a development plan. Outline specific steps for building the skills and knowledge you need. This might include reading relevant books and articles, attending training programs or workshops, finding mentors or coaches, seeking stretch assignments that can build specific capabilities, and joining professional associations or leadership groups. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge process and improvement, even if you haven't achieved mastery. Learning and growth are worth celebrating in themselves. Accept good enough. Perfectionism fuels imposter syndrome. Learn to distinguish between situations that require excellence and those where good enough is sufficient. The power of authentic leadership. One of the most effective ways to combat imposter syndrome is to embrace authentic leadership, being genuine about your strengths, limitations, and learning journey. Transparency about learning. You don't have to pretend you know everything. Being honest about what you're learning and how you're growing can actually increase rather than decrease others' confidence in your leadership. When I started managing HR functions, despite my accounting background, I was transparent with my team about my learning curve. Instead of losing respect for me, they appreciated my honesty and became partners in helping me understand their work better. Vulnerability is a strength. Admitting uncertainty, asking for help, and acknowledging mistakes demonstrates confidence, not weakness. It shows you're more committed to getting things right than appearing perfect. Growing into the role. Remember that you don't have to be the perfect leader on day one. You are promoted based on potential as much as current capability. Growing into your role is expected and normal. Supporting others with imposter syndrome. As you work through your own imposter syndrome, you can help team members and colleagues who may be struggling with similar feelings. Normalize the experience. Share your own experiences with imposter syndrome appropriately. This helps others realize they're not alone and that these feelings don't reflect reality. Provide specific feedback. Instead of general praise, give specific feedback about what other people are doing well and where they're growing. This concrete information counters vague imposter fears. Create safe learning environments. Make it acceptable to ask questions, make mistakes, and need time to learn new things. When learning is normalized, imposter feelings decrease. Recognize growth and progress. Celebrate not just final achievements, but also learning, improvement, and effort. This helps people see their development as valuable in itself. Turning imposter syndrome into leadership fuel. When managed well, the self-awareness that comes with imposter syndrome can actually make you a better leader. Increased empathy. Understanding your own struggles with confidence and competence makes you more empathetic towards others facing similar challenges. A continuous learning mindset. The awareness that you don't know everything can drive continuous learning and improvement that keeps you growing as a leader. Humility and approachability. Leaders who remember what it feels like to be uncertain are often more approachable and supportive of their team members. And resilience building. Learning to work through self-doubt builds resilience that serves you well when facing other leadership challenges. Your anti-imposter syndrome action plan. Week 1, recognition and assessment. Identify your specific imposter syndrome patterns. Document evidence of your qualifications and accomplishments. Assess which areas genuinely need development versus which are imposter fears. Weeks 2 and 3, reframing and perspective. Practice reframing negative self-talk. Seek feedback from a trusted colleague or supervisors. Connect with mentors or other leaders who can provide perspective. Month 2, skill building. Create a development plan for legitimate growth areas. Begin implementing learning activities and practice vulnerability and authenticity in appropriate situations. And then for your ongoing maintenance and support, regularly review your accomplishments and growth. Continue seeking feedback and maintaining mentor relationships, and support others who may be experiencing similar challenges. You do deserve that promotion. Here's the truth that imposter syndrome tries to hide. You were promoted because someone recognized your potential, your accomplishments, and your ability to grow into the role. The fact that you feel uncertain or need to learn new things does not invalidate that recognition. It confirms you're taking on meaningful challenges that will help you grow. Every successful leader has felt like an imposter at some point. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is not the absence of self-doubt. It's the ability to act effectively despite that doubt. You don't have to have all the answers to be a good leader. You don't have to be perfect to add value. You do not have to feel confident every day to deserve your position. What you do need is the willingness to learn, grow, and serve others to the best of your current ability while continuously developing that ability. That willingness, combined with the skills and experience that got you promoted in the first place, is exactly what your organization needs. Trust the process. Trust your growth. And most importantly, trust that you belong exactly where you are. How has imposter syndrome affected your leadership journey? What strategies have helped you build confidence in your role? Share your experiences in the comments to help others know they're not alone. If you missed part 1, please go back and listen or read about understanding and recognizing imposter syndrome in leadership roles. And as always, carry social kindness with you everywhere you go. The world needs you and your positive mindset. Thanks for listening.